hold on a minute. Hark! Is that the sound of a bottle opening I can hear? It can only mean one thing. My favourite man's in the house, Tom Canavan. How are you, Tom?
I'm good, Michelle. Great to be back.
Lovely to have you. Where are we off to in our World of Wine tour?
OK, tonight we're landing up in South Africa.
Lovely.
Really interesting place because, you know, for a long, long time there were boycotts in South Africa during the apartheid era. So we couldn't really buy the wines here. They couldn't buy the stuff they needed, you know, the French oak barrels and all the equipment they needed. So it was in a bit of a kind of limbo. But since apartheid ended at the start of the 90s, they've been in a real kind of roller coaster, a real upward surge, and the wines are really, really interesting, really good quality, and well worth investigating, I think.
All right, well, let's get investigating. Tom, what's the first wine up tonight?
OK, first up, we're going to start with a fizz. Now, South Africa actually makes quite a lot of fizz, quite a lot of sparkling wine. They call it Cap Classique. It's just the kind of classic method, so it's the same method as champagne.
Okay.
This is an interesting one because this is a wine that's called the Villieira Brut Natural Sparkling Wine. It's $9.99 in Marks and Spencer's.
Okay.
And the natural thing refers to the fact...
Woo! Woo!
Pretty
you don't
lively,
even have to
pretty
touch that there in that one, Tom.
Very lively bottle. The natural thing refers to the fact that there's no sulphur used in this wine at all. Sulphur's usually used in winemaking. It's just something that they use to kind of keep the wine clean and, you know, in good condition. But this one's made with different techniques of avoiding sulphur. And for people that feel they might be allergic to sulphur, this is one of these wines that they can actually drink, you know, without having to worry about it.
I've never thought about that before when I'm buying my wine. Des, are you a wine fan?
Yes,
Oh, you
red
must
wine.
be. Red
We'll
wine.
have a little
We
taste
do
of
a
this one.
Okay, let's have a taste.
It's got a little bit of that kind of toasty, bready kind of quality in the nose. Really quite nice kind of pear fruit, I
Oh,
think.
I like that.
Nice on the...
You just said the words out of my mouth. Really taste the pear in
Pears,
that.
does it? Yeah. It does, doesn't it? It really
Can
comes
really
through.
get the pear in that, Des. What
That's
are you
okay.
tasting?
Yeah, I don't usually like sparkling wine, but that's okay.
It's made from 100% Chardonnay,
Yeah.
just given the traditional fermentation method. And I think it's a really, really nice wine. Because it doesn't have the sulphur, they say that you can't keep it for more than 3 years, but you probably wouldn't keep it for more than 3
No.
years anyway. So, really, really nice wine, $9.99 in Marks and Spencer's.
Gorgeous. And that would go with a kind of salmon, sushi kind of dish.
I think that would be fantastic with it, Michelle. You know, things like sushi and sashimi, you know, very lightly cooked or raw fish, Japanese-style food. Champagne's always really good with it, especially if it's a dry champagne.
Remember, I'm tasting a lot of mustard and chilies still.
Yeah, well, it might work with that as
Let's
well,
not
I
even
think.
be... Des isn't tasting anything, so he's as
not
much
tasting
use an
much.
ashtray and a motorbike at the moment anyway. All right, what's up next, Tom?
OK, next we're going to go to a Sauvignon Blanc. Now, Sauvignon Blanc, you probably know them from Marlborough in New Zealand and from the Loire Valley in France. They're the two kind of big homes of it. But in fact, South Africa is making some really good Sauvignon. It's one of their strong suits, I think. So I've chosen one.
Okay.
This is the Niederberg Reserve Sauvignon Blanc, a 2009 wine, young and fresh, 647 in Asda. And I think if you have a little nose at this one, it's got all that Sauvignon character. You know, the kind of green beany, herby kind of quality, very kind of fresh, almost a little bit of something like gooseberry in there or grapefruit. Very fresh, very
Ooh.
tangy.
Very, very tangy. I like that one.
It's lovely, isn't it? Kind of bursts with flavour on the palate. You know, you just feel
Gorgeous.
the acidity, you feel all that fruit.
That's
Very
really
light
nice.
as
That's
well.
really nice.
Very
It's
light as well.
lovely, isn't it?
Now, I'm not a red wine drinker, but you are. But as a red wine drinker drinking white wine, you like that one?
But I like white wine in the summer.
Oh, do you?
And
Oh,
that's
you
a
posh
really-
about your wine?
Very much so.
Oh, right, okay.
I could tell that. This is...
The most sincere comment you've made, Tom, since you started in the hour.
Well, listen,
He's a great
Sauvignon
chap,
Blanc
always.
is summer wine for me. You know, I think Des is dead right. It's just that it's fresh and it's kind of vital and it's cracking
All right.
stuff.
Let's go into Des's favourite then, the red.
On to the reds. OK. I couldn't do South Africa without trying the Pinotage grape. Pinotage is South Africa's own speciality grape. Now, it was a crossing between two well-known grapes, the Pinot Noir and the Sanso of France, and a South African guy crossed them in the 1920s to make a kind of, you know, a new grape, which is called Pinotage. And some people like it, some people don't, but let's have a little taste of this one. It's the First Cape limited release Pinotage. It's in Morrison's at $4.99, so it's not an expensive wine, but have a little taste of this one. Nice nose, quite bright, kind of strawberry fruit. On the palate, it's quite fresh.
Quite like that.
There's a wee edge to it, a wee kind of licoricey edge, I think.
Yeah.
You know, just gives it a wee... I wouldn't say bitterness, but it gives it just a
No,
little
I like
edge
it.
that makes it nice with food, I think.
I like You like it, Des? Is that a red wine drinker?
That is nice. That's okay. Yeah.
And I suppose this one you would eat it along with kind of beef and different types of meats.
Perfect. Although it's not a heavy wine, it's got the tannins and it's got that wee kind of nip to it. So with any kind of steak, it would be terrific, I think.
What about chilies? Do you think it would go with chilies? Because Tom, we've been playing a game all day. Excuse me a minute here.
Dear.
I'm going to roll this dice, Tom. And if you get an odd number, you're going to have to eat the chili pizza. And if you get an even number, you don't. So, oh, look at that. It's landed on an odd. Hold on a minute.
This is a complete
Tom, you're always
stitch-up.
giving me
Can I just
presents.
say this? This
Let
is
us know how that feels on the palate.
This is the really hot one, is
Hottest
it?
pizza on the menu. Give it a good big chunk. Go. Give him up. Come on, give him a bit of encouragement. The hottest pizza.
I think that's fine.
Yes, is that going down well?
It's absolutely delicious.
Should I offer you a nice white wine to take that down? Red?
That's actually quite nice. I quite like that. It's got a real wee nip after it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go well with this red
You've got a
wine.
wee tear in your eye,
I feel like I've got a tear
You're
in
off
my
to
eye.
South Africa tomorrow, aren't you? To taste more of these lovely
I'm away
wines.
to South Africa tomorrow, so I'll be tasting lots more of these.
Great.
But we filmed some little pieces, so there'll be some nice pieces over the next couple of weeks about wine. You'll still be
But
able
you
to...
won't be here, Tom,
I
so it's
won't
not
be
the
here.
same.
It's
But we'll
not
do
the
see you when you
same.
return from your travels. Thank you very much, Tom.